Okay, the book of Judges is a dark and complex period in Israel's history, spanning around 300 years. After the death of Joshua, Israel faces a pattern of repeated cycles: sin, oppression, repentance, deliverance, and then peace, until the cycle begins again. So, the overview of Judges is Israel's leadership. The people are led by judges, not kings. These judges are not just legal figures, but military leaders raised by God to deliver Israel from oppression. Pattern of the judges: Israel constantly falls into sin and idolatry, experiences oppression from neighboring peoples, repents, and then God raises a judge to deliver them. The key theme in Judges is the faithfulness of God despite Israel's repeated unfaithfulness. So Judges 1 is the continual conquest, Israel incomplete victory. Judges first is a transition chapter showing Israel's struggle to fully conquer the promised land after Joshua's death. The first part of this chapter covers the initial campaigns. After Joshua's death, the Israelites ask God who should go first to fight the Canaanites. God answers, Judah shall go up. I have given the land into their lands. Judah leads the charge, and with God's help, they conquer many cities, including Jerusalem. However, they fail to drive out the Canaanites, to drive out all the Canaanites. So the second part of this chapter covers the incomplete conquest. Judah defeats cities but does not completely drive out the inhabitants. Simon joins Judah and also conquers parts of the southern land. However, other tribes struggle or fail. Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh fail to drive out the Canaanites. The Canaanites remain in the land, and Israel's incomplete conquest leads to long-term problems. They did not drive out the Canaanites. So, what are the key lessons from Judges 1? The first one is partial obedience leads to future problems. Israel was not fully obedient to God's command to drive out the Canaanites, and it created ongoing problems. Second lesson: disobedience has long term consequences. Failing to complete a conquest meant spiritual compromise, and idolatry took root. Okay, third lesson: God's promises are conditional on obedience. God promised victory, but obedience was required for full possession of the land. So, Judges 1 reveals the growing challenges Israel faces as they fail to fully possess the land. Partial victories and unresolved issues set the stage for the cycle of sin that will dominate the book. Okay, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one.